It's been a tumultuous year for the royal family, and here to give us her take on how things might play out in 2026, as if anyone can know, but if anyone can, she can, Sky News contributor Louise Roberts. Louise, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
It has been a dodgy old year, 2025, hasn't it?
Yes.
Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, as he now is. The lot has gone for that bloke, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. He's had a terrible year, and look, Prince Charles has finally kicked him to the curb. Oh, sorry, King Charles has finally kicked him to the curb, I guess we could say. But, you know, there's been some criticism of Charles, I think, that he's taken his time in doing this, and I think there are a number of reasons for that. But when you think about it, it's been 6 or more years since that diabolical interview that Andrew did.
Yes, why did he do that? We can't understand. It was really disastrous.
Shameless.
Whoever advised him to do that was not thinking.
Well, it really showed him this sort of elite arrogance that he had. He's completely out of touch with what people thought about the royal family. And in fact, he went on that interview to try and defend his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, which was indefensible and embarrassed his mum no end when she was alive, that association with him, of course. But look, Charles has acted and, you know, stripped Andrew of all his titles and his royal privileges. And I think the reason he did sort of stall for a bit is that the royal family does not move at speed, and Charles is the king and he will not be told what to do. He will decide at what pace he's going to do things as well. Traditionally as well, the royals do put their own priorities first, and I think we saw that when Diana died, because the Queen stayed in Balmoral, of course, to look after her.
Yes, for longer than people thought she should have done.
That's right. Yes. But, you know, in hindsight, she definitely did the right thing. She stayed there to protect William and Harry after they'd lost their mother, although people wanted her to present at Kensington Gardens and sort of, you know, be very public about her grief, which was not the Queen's way of doing things at all.
And it's not the royal family way of doing things.
No, it's not.
Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, I love saying that because he's not Prince Andrew anymore.
No, he's the former prince.
He was, when he was younger, they called him Randy Andy. We now know he wasn't Randy Andy. He was a sleazebag.
Yes.
And every new bit of information that comes out about Epstein just makes him look worse, doesn't it?
It does make him look worse. And, you know, when I sort of was going through some of the stories about this today, I thought maybe in a way he should have been banished way back in 2011. That's when that first photograph came out of him sauntering around Central Park in New York without a care in the world next to Jeffrey Epstein, his great mate, his rich friend.
He was already convicted of that stuff.
That's right. He'd already done 18 months in prison for crimes relating to sex crimes, and he was on the sex offenders register in the US. So he was not the sort of person the royal family should be seen consorting with. But Andrew, in his, you know, blind arrogance, decided that friendship was more important than the collateral fallout, and he's now paid the price, of course.
Now, I would like to play a warning klaxon and say we're about to talk about Harry and Meghan.
Oh, OK, yes.
So that people don't scream and run away. They have lost their 11th senior communications advisor in 5 years, making it look like there's a good deal of instability in their operation. Are they just hard people to work for? What do you think people think of Harry and Meghan these days?
Well, their whole brand was built on conflict and obviously selling out the family secrets and criticising everyone in the family because they, of course, were these sort of noble people who'd fled the royal system and were trying to do good in the world. And the problem is they've had 11 PR advisors, as you say, in 5 years. That very much hints at chaos within the Sussex business, as it were, because a PR can't operate if there's no strategy. And Harry and Meghan do not have a strategy. They don't even know what they are. Are they Hollywood power players? Are they sort of royal refugees who are trying to fight the system, institutional racism, etc., etc.? Are they philanthropists? I mean, what are they? They don't know.
They've only got one act. Their act is criticising the British royal family at the end.
Yeah, and what that's done is, yes, it's made them some money and got them some profile with Oprah, but it has ostracised them largely with Hollywood elite who have sided with William and Kate on this, of course. So I do feel that any PR is on a hiding to nothing trying to promote them and defend them because, you know, the plates are moving all the time. There's no way of knowing what's going to happen the next day, or they want a reinvention, but they want to be in control of their PR. And you can't have both things, Kel. It just doesn't work.
What about the hints that there is some tension between King Charles and Prince William? I mean, Prince William didn't want Andrew's daughters to be at the Christmas, for example.
Right.
And Charles said, no, they're going. Is there any, from the things that you're hearing, from what you're reading, is there real tension between them?
Look, there could be. I thought this was a very interesting story which erupted over Christmas. So William did not want his cousins, Eugenie and Beatrice, to do the traditional Sandringham Christmas Day walk because he felt the spotlight would be on them, of course, and it would rake up all the Andrew adjacent controversy, and really that's radioactive for the royal family. They don't want it. And the girls had been, or the women rather, had been sort of largely low profile, which protected them. At the end of the day, they're still William's cousins and he still wants to be protective of them. So he had, according to this story, had discussed with his father that maybe that they should not be at the Sandringham Walk. But Charles overruled him. Again, he's the king. He does not like to be told what to do. And so they were there. But it did hint at a bit of a power struggle between the heir in waiting and the king himself, and we've been led to believe, of course, that any aggravation at the top of the Windsor tree has been largely Sussex related, but if it's more to do with William and his father, that's cause for real concern because,
there's an idea that William has his own picture of what the future is for the royal family, and it doesn't exactly parallel Charles's, does it?
No, it doesn't, because Charles is a traditionalist. He's far more sentimental, of course, towards his brother and everyone else than William is. William very much wants to protect the crown, so that's why he's gone on this path.
Yep. And for the two princesses to go to the royal Christmas, in the end, probably worked the way Charles thought it was going to work. It really didn't hurt them in the end, did it?
It didn't, but it could have really imploded. I mean, it could have been a bit of a PR own goal, the fact that if the headlines had sort of been wrenched away from seeing the Tyndalls and their daughter and everyone else and been more about, raking over the whole Andrew controversy, because now Charles has made that decision. William wants to make sure that there's no collateral damage for future generations. And I think I actually side with William on this. I really feel for him. I think he's trying to launch a progressive path for the royals without having the sort of Andrew factor seep in, and it will continue to seep in for a number of years, unfortunately. So
the sooner they can get him to exile himself in Portugal, the better.
Portugal or Spain, or maybe the UAE. I've got a feeling.
Oh, okay.
Because he's got some rich chums there, and I wouldn't be surprised if Andrew and Fergie ended up there. That's my prediction.
We will watch what happens.
Okay.
Louise Roberts, thank you for your time.
Good to see you. Thank you, Kel.